Hello. This video contains a brief review on the topics discussed in one of the course in my PhD coursework, and the subject is the applied machine learning, and the instructor is the Nagesh Bhattu, Professor Nagesh Bhattu from NIT Andhra Pradesh. We have discussed, we have studied the following topics here. These topics are mainly linear regression and multiple regression, recommender system, maximum likelihood estimation, logistic regression, neural networks in brief, language modeling, multivariate Gaussian, and semi-supervised learning, having an example with spectral clustering for document labeling, and LDA, that is latent Dirichlet allocation, with an example of topic clustering using Gibbs sampling. Coming to the linear regression, here the problem is to find out the relation between a dependent variable with a given independent variable. So in linear regression, the relation is linear. Let us say b naught plus b1 x and plus some error term epsilon. And the estimated value of the response variable or dependent variable related with input or independent variable x linearly, where b naught is intercept of the model and b1 is slope of the line. So how to find out the parameters of the model, that is b naught and b1? So having the structure of the model, we compute the total sum of a square error. The square error, that is the deviation between actual y and the estimated y located at the line. So that is actual yi, ith point, minus of estimated yi and the square sum. So here we have formulated the problem as optimization function, and the optimization function is that minimization of the total error associated with the model. So we need to minimize this total error. So we shall find out the parameter such that this total sum of errors should be minimum. So we differentiate this function with respect to parameters and simplified, and we obtain the relation B x transpose x inverse x transpose y, where B is the column vector of the parameters. Having the model parameters of the model, the prediction of the model can be done as y estimated is equal to x multiplied by B. Next, we discussed the recommender system. Uh, One point, let me mention that here, as the number of topics are more, so we have captured the each introduction of each topic in short. Uh, we have perhaps to discuss in depth. We may create a separate video. So, recommender system is a subclass of information filtering system that seeks to predict the things like rating or preferences of users, okay, given a set of items. So they are primarily used for commercial applications like rating of movies or restaurant based upon users' review. So that may be captured, modeled using collaborative filtering method and content filtering method. In our class, we have discussed this method. So, collaborative method uh, mainly based on the past experience of past interaction of users and items, and although the feature or characteristics of user and item may not be given, but only the review in term of like or dislike corresponding to the item are given. So this interaction is also termed as user item interaction matrix. Having one example of movie review, so this is like a matrix of user, and the columns are for movie. Each item Rij is the rating given by the user to a particular movie. Now this matrix may be very sparse matrix. So doing the comparison between two users or two different movies may not be much promising. So it is better to decompose this sparse matrix into some latent featured matrix, that is P and Q. The P matrix is for user, uh, okay, represents the characterize the user's characteristics, and the Q matrix characterize the features of the movie, having L number of latent features. So the dimension of P will be M, that is number of user multiplied by number of latent feature, and Q is a number of latent feature multiplied by number of movies. So initially the value of P and Q may be given some small random values, and we have to update the values of P and Q so that the product of two should match with R. So how to do that? We shall find out the error between the actual value Rij and the value of multiplying pth row and qth jth column, ith row and jth column. So the difference between this, that is the sum of error. So this error we shall keep on minimizing iteratively. Once the error is below some threshold, we shall stop the updation. And updation of the ith value of P and jth value of Q is updated like this, with a small value of learning rate. Error term is given here. So this is how we update and factorize the matrix. Having this matrix, it is easier to find out the similarity between two users or movies. The next one is MLE, that is maximum likelihood estimator. This is a probabilistic approach to estimate parameter theta of a distribution M given a set of observations produced by M. So it is known that what is the distribution, structure of the distribution, and a set of observations. We need to estimate value of theta. For that, first we have to formulate the problem as likelihood of the observations. So likelihood of a sequence of observations is probability of A joint probability of these observations given parameter theta and model. Let us say we have a coin and we toss a coin several times and we got a sequence of outcome, that is head, tail, tail, head, head, tail, like that. So the likelihood, we know that the distribution is Bernoulli distribution because the outcomes are binomial. So the probability of getting head, let us say the probability is theta, that is unknown, and probability of tail is 1 minus theta, 1 minus theta, theta and 1 minus theta. So the product of all these probabilities is our likelihood function. For the sake of simplicity in taking the derivative of the function, we take log on both sides. That is also called log likelihood. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 3 log theta plus 1, 2, 3, 3 log 1 minus theta. And now we can differentiate the log likelihood with respect to the parameter, and equate to 0 because uh, this optimal value we can get at the point where the derivative is 0. Okay. So optimal value would be if it is minima or maxima, the tangent must be 0 at that point. If the horizontal axis is theta, so f dash theta must be 0. So on simplifying, sorry, here differentiation will be minus multiplied by minus 1 because here theta is minus. So after simplifying, we got theta is equal to 3 by 6, that is 0.5. So this is the way we estimated the parameter theta using MLE given a set of observation and the structure of the distribution. Some other examples also we discussed, like how to estimate parameters of Gaussian distribution, uh, linear regression, and multivariate, sorry, uh, multinomial distribution. The next one is logistic regression. This is the statistical method like regression, but that is used for classification, that to the binary, having the binary classes. Recalling the structure of linear regression, looking like this: estimated y is beta naught plus beta 1 x. But the coming to the logistic regression, we convert those outcome in probability form. So this estimated y, we take it like e to the power estimated y divided by this. That is the probability of success given x, because having two classes, class 1 and class 2. And by restructuring this equation, we get the equation like this. Now, if we replace this term as y star, a new variable, now this structure is like linear regression. So, using x and y, we first transform the value into y star, and then we applied linear regression, estimate b naught and b1x. And after estimating, again this y star is converted back to probability of y given x. This is one of the way to do the logistic regression. Next one topic we discussed a neural network. That was very introductory only. So an artificial neural network is a computing system that is designed to simulate the way the human brain analyzes and processes information. We try to imitate the behavior of human brain. The artificial neural network is self-learning, having self-learning capabilities that enables them to produce a better result as we provide more and more samples. So the set of inputs is termed as dendrites in biological neural network, and a set of given weights to each of the input is termed as synapse, and the actual node is also called soma, where we compute a set of integration of all inputs, and also we perform a transfer function or activation function. So this collectively is called soma, and the output is called axon. So we have seen a set of activation functions like linear activation function, sigmoid activation function, ReLU activation function, and corresponding derivatives also. It was only introductory part, so I'm not going to cover different learning methods and uh, backpropagation algorithms, all not that. Next one topic is language modeling. So in this topic, mainly we uh, discussed the word embedding part. So language modeling is used for various statistical and probabilistic way to determine the probability of a word given a sequence of words occurring in a sequence. We shall see in two ways, like a continuous bag of words and a skip-gram model. Word embedding is a numerical way to represent the word so that the semantic of the word may be captured. One of the simple way may be the one hot vector, but that is too sparse. So we may have some uh, smaller length of vector that is also called latent vector. So this continuous bag of word model is used to represent the context means surrounding words, represent to uh, predict a word given surrounding words. So the predicting a word, it may belong to the middle or end, but given a surrounding of the words. Coming to skip gram model, it is reverse of SIBO, that is uh, given a representation of input word, we use to predict the context surrounding words. So again, detail is skipped here. Next one topic we discussed multivariate Gaussian distribution. So multivariate Gaussian distribution, that is also called joint normal distribution, is a generalization of the univariate normal distribution. Uh, having the we may look the equations like this. This is univariate Gaussian distribution. having a single dimensional vector. This is the standard form of normal distribution. This is a short form of representation that X is normally distributed with parameter mu and sigma square. Coming to the multivariate Gaussian, we have many variables, okay, x1, x2, each may be considered as a column vector. So we have d-dimensional vectors. And if you plot it, let us say it is two-dimensional, so plotting will look like this. And uh, the probability density function equation is here it is replaced, the sigma is replaced by covariance matrix, and okay, x minus mu square is replaced by x minus mu transpose x minus mu, that is in matrix form. The next one we discussed, maximum a posteriori method. This is very closely related to MLE with an additional information available regarding the prior distribution. So if we know that the given parameter, that is prior, is also distributed with some distribution, then unlike MLE, like in MLE we maximize the likelihood function, that is only Px given theta. Here we will maximize the posterior function, that is likelihood multiplied by prior. Next we discussed the expectation maximization algorithm. That is again a kind of maximum likelihood estimates to estimate the model parameters, and that is mainly applicable when the data set is incomplete or has some unobserved latent variables. This is again iterative way to approximate the maximum likelihood function. So we have E and M step. In each step, we compute the responsibility of each variable toward k number of multivariate Gaussian or k number of distribution. And M step, we again update the uh, value of the parameters. For example, in this multivariate Gaussian, it can be having two number of distribution, like pi 1 multiplied by distribution with mu 1 sigma 1 plus pi 2 distribution of mu 2 and sigma 2 square. So the pi 1 pi 2 is the weight, okay, some, this is the weighted sum of two distribution is the final distribution. So in M step we again update the value of pi and mu and sigma. Initial value of pi mu sigma may be some random variable or some value with some prior knowledge. The next one we discussed semi-supervised learning with an example of spectral clustering for document labeling. Semi-supervised learning is a type of machine learning that uses a combination of a set of labeled data and a larger amount of unlabeled data, because in practice majority of data is unlabeled. So semi-supervised is appearing more realistic way of learning. So coming to the example of spectral clustering using for document learning labeling. A simple algorithms we have written here, that is, first represent the data set as a graph data structure where each of the sample is a node, and the edges, these two nodes may be connected using some strategy, like one of the strategies epsilon neighborhood graph, that is, if distance between two nodes are smaller than a non-positive value sigma, we connect. So distance may be measured with cosine or some Gaussian distance. Let's have A is the adjacency matrix of the graph, and W is the weight matrix. Okay, that is, we can assign the Gaussian distance, and D is the degree matrix, that is a diagonal matrix. So L is equal to D minus W is called Laplacian matrix. Further, we normalize the Laplacian matrix like this. Afterward, we compute the eigenvectors of U, eigenvectors U of Laplacian matrix L, and let us consider the first p principal components, first p number of columns of U, and considering this latent data structure, latent data set where each row of U is a latent sample. Now cluster this each sample of U, that is each row of U, with key k-mean clustering into k number of clusters. And further, we map the ith row of U to the ith row of original data set. And in each clusters, some of the data set which are labeled originally and the majority are unlabeled. So all the unlabeled data set is labeled with the same label uh, where whatever majority label available in that cluster. So that is the way we label the documents using spectral clustering. The next we discussed latent Dirichlet allocation using an example of topic modeling using Gibbs sampling. So the LDA is a generative probabilistic model with latent variable, where the latent variable is characterized by a distribution of another variables. For example, documents may be represented as a mixture over latent topics, where each topic is characterized by a distribution over a set of words. Let's see some of the notation. Let alpha is the parameter of Dirichlet over that is the prior weights of topic K uh, of topic in a document. Usually its value is less than 1, and beta is the parameter of Dirichlet, the prior weight of words in a topic. So this is important. Alpha is Dirichlet parameter for weight of topic in a document, and beta is Dirichlet parameter for word in a topic. Uh, Another variable is theta, that is topic distribution for documents. So this may be considered as a matrix where rows are documents and columns are topics. And phi is word distribution for topics, where rows may be considered as topics and columns may be represented by words. Now let us see one simple algorithm for how to model the topics. using Gibbs sampling. So let we have a set of documents, n documents, D, and a set of words, unique words, that is vocabulary, and size of the vocabulary is M. Create a table that is turn document matrix WDN, where Wij is the count of ith word in jth document. Next, create another matrix ZDM using WDM, where Zij is the initially randomly assigned topics. So how many topics we want to assign, that depends upon expert knowledge. So each of the value Zij is the topic number of ith word in jth document. Let the Dirichlet parameters alpha is equal to 1 for each topic and beta is equal to 0.01 for each word in the topic. Now let's have a loop over these steps. So number of iterations, again it depends upon knowledge of the person. Now let's build or update, initially build a matrix called document versus topic, named as NDK, also denoted as theta, Dirichlet of alpha. So this matrix can be created using ZDN, okay, where each value NDT is the count of ith topic in dth document. Similarly, build or update, initially build, because initially the value of ZDM is random values. So first time we need to build. Second time onward we shall update this value based upon the value of ZDM. So ZDM having the topic number assigned to each word in the documents. So dimension of Z is same as the dimension of like WDM. So D row and M column, and Z also having same dimensionality. NDK having dimensionality D number of rows and K number of columns. And similarly, we shall build a matrix NKW, K number of topics and W number of words, that is called topic versus word table. This is also the value is taken counted from ZDM. So these two matrices NDK and NKW is created using ZDM. Now create and update a vector NK. This is a single column vector. So in NDK table, total how many topics of one, count of topic 1, count of topic 2, like that. Okay. Now iteratively we update the value of ZDM for each W having non-zero frequency as follows. So the the probability that the value, the topic is equal to K given set of words and alpha beta Dirichlet parameters, and here Z minus K indicates that at the particular state we consider that all the values are fixed except the value corresponding to the kth document. So we remove the effect of the topic currently under consideration. So we shall take the value from ndk plus alpha and value from this is a row vector and this is a column vector, and the in value at kth index we shall subtract by 1 in order to remove the effect of kth topic, divided by kth, the total count of kth topic currently available in ZDN, plus the beta multiplied by the vocabulary size, and Zij is updated with maximum, because this probability we compute for each of the topic, and whichever topic giving the maximum value, so that particular, okay, maximum value of the topic, so that particular topic will be updated in the ZDM matrix. Again go to step 6. Once ZDM is updated, again the table NDK and NKW will be updated like that. So this is the way we model the topic. Like having the modeling, we can answer the following question, like what is probability of topic T given document T? What is the probability of word given topic, given a topic? Or what is the probability of topic given words and alpha and beta? So these are the various questions we can answer. This is different one. These are some details. Uh, Thank you. So in brief, we discussed the following topics. Okay, these following topics. So thank you.